This is Mean Uncle Willy. Welcome you to this documentary. I'm in my cabin in the woods. Oh my God. Here's my good buddy. And here's some tobacco. Coffee. I need to take a lunch break in the filming of The Woodsman. It's my 19th movie. 19 films. It's more than that. When more than 30. I lost the count. 34, I think. This is number 35. That is included all the documentaries, the talking about the films and things like that. All right. I'm kind of busy. I had to take a lunch break anyway. I don't have any food though. Only tobacco and coffee. Can't get enough of alcohol, tobacco and firearms. This one, by Rambo, Bowie's survival knife. Alright. Alright. I'll go back to be myself a little bit more now. I usually do the documentaries in Norwegian, but I will reach a broader audience by talking English, so why not? This is my normal voice. It's kind of challenging doing the rusty voice. I had this idea about the Woodsman long ago. You saw already in Rising Hell that I made 2 years ago that he carried a log. He was in the forest carrying a log and chopping wood. I want to make more out of that concept now. But it's not all about really being a woodsman. It's an opening, especially. And then it turned. I think it will turn into Rising Hell again. Something like that. Maybe even better. I haven't wrote the whole script yet. I wrote a third, almost half. I don't know yet, you know, how long it will be. I will include the doll. I bought some masks that I used for Viking films, the Berserker 1 and 2. They were, sometimes I used it on my head, sometimes it was on a doll, sometimes the head was not attached, separated from the doll. Put the heads on a stick. I don't think I will do that in this film. It's a little bit over the top, right? A little bit too much. I didn't fucking shit! Yeah. On with the show. I didn't really plan to make a documentary for this film. I'm having a coffee break anyway, so I have one more scene down the river there. And here now, talking with Hans. First he appeared like a dog. He really will kick in. And also Tom will be a doll because he's get kidnapped. I will release this after the film, so there will be no spoilers. There are spoilers if you haven't seen The Woodsman, so I recommend to see that one first. So I will release this right after. I don't know how long this documentary will be. I hope not so long. I will maybe do 10 or 15 minutes talking almost every day, each scene. I did a interesting thing with a speaker in the opening scene here. Willy comes out with a coffee and tobacco, and he you talk with Tom that is in the window. You can barely see the window, but you don't see him, you just hear his voice. So first I wrote the script, and then I talk in his voice, and then I read Willy's lines slowly, so there will be enough time. And even if there's enough time to say the lines, it's not always that I remember my lines, and it's not so easy to just sit and read. I put the script on the tree over there because I couldn't look over to the tripod. I used to put it on the tripod. So I talk as loud as possible because these speakers are not very loud, and there is a noise from the waterfall and the river passing by here. But I talk as loud as possible. First I did it in basement where it's silent, and then I did it here, so there will be a double noise of the waterfall, but it works fine. You hear it quite well. There was one time I forgot what I was going to say, but I said the most important, and then I improvised. Sometimes you have to do that. You can't improvise too much, in conversations. When Willy walking around alone and talk with himself, maybe you can improvise quite a bit. And if it's a film based on talking into the camera, it's 80 or 90% improvisation. Because I have some ideas about what to say. I have so many ideas for new films, but this is the big one this month. There's also a film called Left 4 Dead. It's not a very original title. It's just some not too good friend invite him on a hunting party, hunting for deers maybe, but really not plan to shoot any deer. He's just joining because he's a little bit lonely and he needs some friends and be in nature and have a party there. But he got shot. I can't spoil too much of the story, but it's a survival movie. I could have done it in the winter. It's so hard, to stay so long time outside. Even now, it's hard because it was really cold this morning. It was 6 or 7 minus in the night because I didn't sleep last night. So there was ice on the lake again. I think it's gone by now. It's quite much warmer now, at least in the sun. So there's also a smaller movie called Willy's Kicking Smelly Ass. It will be a funny one, not so long. And there was another one where he tells a lot of stories from his life. It will be called Beyond Rage. And he will tell a lot of angry stories. Maybe he will tell it in a little bit angry manner. Maybe he will illustrate some of the scenes. I don't know. That movie doesn't have the highest priority yet. There's another one called Endless Sorrow. Beyond Rage and Endless Sorrow. Strong feelings. It's about his brother that he lost about 20 years ago in a car crash, and he will talk about good and bad memories about his brother and parents and sister, but mostly about his brother because he's the one he lost. He lost his parents too, but his father was real cruel to beat him, and his mother was a little bit better, but she became insane because of the abuse from the violent father. So I will talk about sorrow, deep sorrow, endless sorrow in general, and illustrate the situation. What happened to his brother when he tried to rescue him, drive his car down to the river and he tried to rescue him. But no one came and helped, and he died in his arms. Very sad. I don't know exactly how we'll do it, but I think it will film it in the summer. It has a quite high priority. It's those 3 films that I mentioned. There's another one called No Good Deeds. Really walk around and maybe it's not really bad to people, but he's grumpy and he's ignorant and he doesn't help people that need his help. He doesn't help where help is required. So at the end of the movie, I think that all people will come to him like a witch hunt. They will crucify him maybe, or that will probably be just a dream, like a dream that Ebenezer Scrooge has in the Christmas Carol. He changed totally after that. I don't want Willy to change too much though. So I'm not mean fucking Uncle Willy for nothing. You know that you have to be a little mean. I can't change him too much when I still call him Mean Uncle Willy. Can't change it to Sweden because all these big movies I call Mean Uncle Willy number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So it can be sweeter and show other more emotional, more human sides in some films, but there's more sides of them. It's not only bad. And there's a reason why it became like that. Alright, that is the 4 movies. There always be other 2. I plan to, maybe next year, probably next year I'll move to Sweden, so I don't know how it will be to make Willy films, but I think I will find a way there too. Sometimes I go back here on holiday, so I can make film down here in this area anytime. That's more than enough for now, probably 20 minutes already. I don't want this documentary to exceed at least more than 2 hours. Hopefully less than that, because it's not that big project. But it may be so long story that I could do the same thing as Raising Hell, to make part 1, 2 and maybe 3, but I will not do it even if it will be 1 hour. Of course it could have been 1.5 hour like a normal film, but that is not the film's supposed to put on YouTube. If I make a whole film I should publish it elsewhere and earn money on it. So maybe sometime I will earn money on being a YouTuber, I don't know. The 1 hour I think is a maximum. If it's longer, I have to separate it in part 1, 2 and 3 and so on. I think this movie might be like about 40, 45, maybe 50 minutes. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. I tried to not make it longer than 45 minutes. It's a big project, so it's okay. People glad to see Willy's back, and he's changed though. I bought this jacket some place called Arbeidsfolk, and these caps. I waited 1 month for it, so I'm very glad finally got it. It's a little bit too big. It's alright. It's not really too big. And he had, I lost my wig here. Maybe you know. The half dark blonde hair. It was a little bit longer. But this one is better than the replacement, that with the shiny golden color. I use it on other characters instead, and this is more like my normal hair. I would like to color my beard to be similar to this hair and to look younger. But this is Willy's new outfit, a new haircut. I don't mention why I look different in this movie. I don't talk to the camera at all. It's just totally character-driven play. Alright, I think it's enough for now. I have to finish here and I go down to the river. I'm going to play the crazy bastard from the pub. That would be fun. I think I have to go and eat a little bit because this day will all be spent for this. Talk to you maybe tomorrow. It's Wednesday, April 17, 2019, and I'm back on the film set. I've been around several places filming since last time. Been down the river to make the scene with where Willy meets Chartan and Bastard from the pub, the other creepy guy. I've also been filming quite much further down the river where Willy and Hans is going on a hunting party looking for Tom. And they spot the compound, if you can call it that, in the binoculars. They tried to shoot a few guys there, so shoot one in the foot. So they just draw unwanted attention to themselves. So they're coming, the guards, soldiers or bad guys are coming their way, so they have to take the long way around and hit the target from a different angle. There's some scenes in between there where Tom is captured in the prison cell. I haven't even filmed it yet, but it's because I used the iron door over here. Just a sec, I will show you what I have made here. This is the prison cell that I built a few days ago. It took me 2 days. And this wall Willy will break out of. I've just filmed the first scene inside where he just hit out a few planks. And then when he came out there, I only have one attempt on this one. Because I really don't want to build up the wall again for another attempt. So I have to make it right the first time.
Time to break it. Hey! We're breaking free hands! Even a child can do this!
This is the prison door. I will film the bastard on the other side, film from inside, and Willy here.
I will fucking kill you! You crazy bastard!
Good luck with that, Willy. I'll leave it right here by the door, if you should change your mind. This door, if you can call it, I made it for a Rambo film, Rambo 2 parody. A very successful film that got over 10,000 views and 30 likes. I made it out of some iron from different kind of things, but also down here. This one I used for it was a what do you call it? Tripod or something that you dry your clothes on. Put it together with I don't remember exactly what it is. Some wire here, almost like barbed wire. So I had to bring this down to the water hole here where Tom is captured. So I had to use it there too. Not just the film, but also the manuscript is in progress. I haven't wrote it all yet, but I have wrote what I'm going to film today. Another scene that will come before, where they capture on the other side of the compound. It looks empty, very quiet, very suspiciously quiet. So it's an ambush that you have maybe seen in the movie already. I'll film that later because the sun will still be up in the woods there a while. But here now I should have started earlier. It's almost 3 p.m. already, so it's very important that the sun hits this place. I have to open the door, I think, so it will not be too dark in this prison cell. I have to be very careful with the angle because there's an opening by the door there, so it will be silly if it's a big opening there. If you see it, so they could escape anytime. But they are tied like that. And Willy been sleeping. He's been out for 12 hours or something. And he has a nightmare. And I'm supposed to film that one too. Maybe later today or tomorrow. I haven't even written it yet, but I have some ideas. I don't have to really make a script. I can improvise something. And here's the script. I wrote a manuscript, and I always just print out the pages that are going to film. And I put a mark on Willy's lines, so very important, you know, to don't forget a line, because the whole conversation will not make sense then. Today I will stay here all day, so I brought some coffee. Take one now. And even some food to help for the concentration. A lot of water. And even Teddy. Oh, nice hug. He liked to watch my work in progress, or my method of madness. I told him so many times, soon, tomorrow, another day, we're going for a trip. But I'm running, you know, fast around the lake or in the mountains, and he will always be in my pocket. So now he's here watching. Still warm. The way I do it with the broken jar is Willy said that's right after Hans tried to pick the lock. Do you look at do you see the jar in the corner? And then he moved towards it, it's whole, and then he moved towards it, and then it's very important, you don't see it though. It looks quite different. This one he can make fall down to the floor. You will not see that it looks a little different. It will break. You don't have to add that sound as after effect. And then he lay down trying to cut the rope with it, and then it's very important that I look back. He would do that in that situation anyway, I think so. I really don't want to cut myself. It's not really worth it. Of course not. I don't want to hurt myself at all. I could do some stunts, but I prefer my doll to do the stunts. Let's take a look at the dummy doll that I have made. This one. It doesn't really have the proper body form, but it's the best that I can do right now. I will also use it in another film. I will make a Friday the 13th parody or fan film. I think I will call it Bring Them Back to Mommy. I will also play Jason's mother. She will talk inside his head, but also a girl in that film will play her, because he have poor eyesight, so he will believe that he's talking to his mother for a while, and you saw that in one of the films. I think I have to cut my beard then, because it wouldn't look right if all the people in the film has beard. This film, most people has beard except the masked guy. There will be some guys with mask though, so without beard. This foot I will montage to my big doll, the crash test dummy doll. The doll has to be both a little stiff and flexible, so we don't just fall apart, but also be able to move and bend. And this is the result. I tie the shoes together with the foot now, the calves. Work in progress. It doesn't have the perfect
proposition, the perfect form. I have to tie the head to. I have to attach the head a little bit better because I will make some action scenes. The doll will be moved. I will throw it into the wall, and maybe in the end scene I will throw the doll down a 10-meter waterfall, at least 10 meter tall. So I don't want the doll fall apart in the flight down, in the dive, because that wouldn't look right. I will have to attach the head a little bit more, but maybe I will use the mask, this mask, a few times first. I will use it today too. I just put the clothes on. I took out the pillow, rotten pillow inside this to make it a little bit less fat. Still a little fat though, and it doesn't really have the body form that I have. It's the best I can do. I should order a more professional crash test dummy or box doll, maybe. Not too hard though. It have to be flexible with the limbs.
It's almost 3 AM now, as I said, and I have to film now while it's still light in this relatively dark place, especially inside the prison cell. It's quite dark, even if I open the door. I think I will play the bastard first. He will appear in only one scene. I also have to make some audio tape, just like I did in the opening scene. I put the little speaker in the window there, pretending to be Tom, talking to Willy that he is very hungry, he wants to eat, and Willy explained that they don't have food or money, so we have to go to the forest to get some logs to sell, and then buy some food at the market on the way back. I will play Willy and Hans inside the prison cell. It's very important that I don't film all of Willy, because he will break through this this wall that I have showed you already. I think I have showed you by now in a clip, and you've seen it in the movie too. Because suddenly, you know, there is a big opening where Hans is going to sit, so I have to think of that. Just play Hans sitting there, moving around until the point where Willy gonna break the wall. No longer than that. And then they will escape through the window, and then I will play Tom in the dungeons downstairs. Those two scenes with Bastard and the bald guy, and when Hans and Willy come to rescue. That's all for today, and I tried to make the film the dream too. It's more, maybe more than I have time to. And then I have to make some script, because I have to film a complicated scene, because they are captured up in the forest area where they were captured before. I should choose a different place, but I have to bring the doll, the dummy. Easier to just bring it 50 meters up here. So there will be a complicated scene, because Willy is tied on his back, and even tied to a plank. At least that's the plan. And the bald guy tried to kill him with a knife, but Willy moves quickly, so and then he do like this, boom. And in the different no, in the next scene he will bite his neck, just like Rick Grimes did in The Walking Dead, when he protected his son from being raped. It will be the same kind of scene.
or at least similar. Because that crazy pervert bull guy, maybe he will try to rape his nephew Tom, because they are rapists. They are really pervert bad guys. So I don't know exactly how to make it, but Willy just attack the doll and bite. And next scene will be me with a mask. I will put on some, it's not really blood, it's like a gel of blood that will look like a wound. So you first see the wound, and then he take his hand here, and you're supposed to see that the blood is streaming out of his fingers like a fountain. Yeah. I have to put a little plastic bag with theater blood. Put it right. But I'm gonna make some holes in it, and I have to make it on the upper side, and then so it will not run out. It will look very stupid if his hand is full of blood before it reaches his face. So I have to maybe do some several attempts. You do it like this and squeeze it. First fingers through the holes in the little plastic ball. It will stream out. Hopefully it will look good. And then he fall.
This is exactly what you deserve, you fucking rapist. Dog! Please come and untie me!
When he breaks loose, I think that the one who helps Willy to break loose is the dog that he used to have in his doghouse before. It ran back to them, but it remembers Willy, and it's really confused who to attack. But Willy will say something to him to attack the others, and then he come and bite the rope, and Willy is free, and he will with a plank, he can't really move, you know. With the plank he will hit one and the other, maybe that's Buster from the pub, and when one is down, he will step over and step down on his throat. And the dog will, another guy, maybe the dog, or maybe he has already taken it before he free Willy. He will attack him and rip up his stomach and eat his guts, maybe. I don't know how to make that. Maybe some leftover dinner, some sausages blended with theater blood. I don't know. That scene will be quite long and quite complicated to make. So I have to spend some few days, and then when they will escape, there will be some few enemies to fight on their way back down to the river. And I have great ideas for stunts, but I don't know if I can make all of it. And then down to the river, I would add a song. And there still come some enemies, so I will put some action music maybe where they fight the enemies, and then they move up the river. But the bastard from the pub, when the dog come and Willy is free. He will be a coward and run, and they meet him up the river later, I think. You will know that if you have seen the movie already. Maybe it will not be exactly like this, but there have to be a final scene between them. A knife fight, I think. So he will be the final boss, just like in a game. And Willy will win, and I will make the scene on the top of a small waterfall. But it will. I will pretend that it's bigger. We'll see him fall down, and I plan to maybe bring the doll to a 10 or 12 meter tall waterfall. You don't have to see him at the top, because you will see him at the top of the smaller waterfall. So very important that you film it from the right angle, so you don't see how tall it is down. You'll see the doll. You see Willy on the top, and the doll falling down. If you can't see Willy, maybe I will put the doll on the doll on a stick, so I'm quite far away from the waterfall, so I don't risk falling down, because that will be the end of me. That's of course not really worth it. I have to be careful. I'm a little skeptical if I'm going to do that stunt. Just seeing first that Willy kicking in the head like that in slow motion, and the doll flying down. Will not. I don't think I will film it at the bottom, because Willy looked down. They don't see him. It's supposed to be like a lagoon there. I don't see him. Maybe Hans say, and Willy say, there's no way he could survive this fall. So maybe that will be a mystery if he survive or not. Maybe he will appear in another movie for revenge, but at least he will be out of the picture for that film. And then they continue up the river and reach home, and there's no more enemies chasing them. They will be wet and exhausted, sitting by the river, and Willy will have some wounds from the knife fight. We'll put some bandage on him earlier, so I had to treat these wounds. Maybe Hans will sew a few stings, I don't know yet. If you remember Rising Hell Part 2, you saw Willy was fixing his wound with a needle, just like Rambo in First Blood. And 1 or 2 hours later, after arrival back home, they will have a party with pizza and beer and Jack Daniels. And I think at the end, the day after, we'll see Willy maybe talk some into the camera. If you like the film, I hope you enjoy the film. Please put a like and leave a comment in the comment section, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you when you turn around and walk down the field with the log. And that will be the end. Maybe there will be some recap from the film with some music at the end. I will not put the end in this film, because maybe not to be continued, because then people will think that this story will continue. But of course there's a red line from film to film, but this story will be finished, so I will make another story. But I will not, Willy will not pretend like nothing has happened to him. He can talk about what happened in earlier movies. In some documentary films, he denied what happened in Rising Hell. He will not do that anymore, because it will be a similar film now. So we pretend that it all happens. So he cannot pretend to be such a nice guy again. He will show different sides of himself, but he can't say that now he has changed and become an angel, because it wouldn't sound right, Call him Mean Uncle Willy if he becomes too good, too decent. Alright, I have to get on with the filming now, so I think it's enough for today. I will be seeing you in the next clip at another scene. I think that I will spend the rest of the week filming. I hope that I will be finished on Saturday. So Sunday I will take a mountain trip. Easter is already beginning tomorrow. Alright, I'll be seeing you.
Just a brief little update before we finish. You saw me break that wall already. But I hit my foot while filming this all the time. Here, on this fucking shit. And down there, on the stone, peeking out. I'm so wild, you know. Intensive. What do you say? Eagerly. Eager to film. I have to be here. I have to be there. I have to change my clothes to film another character. And I got so mad. Almost whining. Like a little sissy. Oh, feels a little bit better now. Feel pity for myself, you know. Why the fuck am I so unlucky? Now I'm gonna see me break down this. I break a part of it. No need to... I'm not mean fucking Willy for nothing! I'm not mean fucking for nothing! Later. I'm not breaking anything, though. I'm not breaking anything here. I'm just tearing all the mess down that I made. And I want to clean up this place now. All this shit, you know, I'm going to bring back up. And I'm going to burn some of it and use some of it for later occasions. So no worries saying this. I'm taking good care of this place. And myself, as you see. Oh, what a fucking mess. Looks really messy right now. I'm going to clean it up. Seems like I'm tearing down this place. Someone would be worried. Because it kind of belonged to someone on the other property. It's a left abandoned place, but it's on others' properties. But no worries. All you see here, if you know the one own this place or if you own it, I'm just tearing it down. My own shit. And I will take it away. Maybe even all the furnitures here. Maybe I let them stay. But all this shit that I built, I'm going to break down and clean up. You will see later in the film. It will be nicer again. I didn't touch anything. I didn't break anything that was here from before. I think I need a little tobacco to relax. I talk like Uncle Willy. But I kind of mad for real. But I have to play Willy. It wouldn't look right, you know, if I don't. I'm becoming Willy. More and more. I'm becoming Mean fucking Uncle Willy. That's alright. How you like my new outfit? Maybe someday I will change my name from Svein Grimstad to Mean Uncle Willy. Or as I call on Facebook, Willy Wilhelmsson. Or Willy, Free Willy. I'm only Uncle Willy. Got no surname, no name. God, what a wild, crazy, grumpy, motherfucker. Crazy son of a bitch, huh? Right? I'm not mean fucking Uncle Willy for nothing! Alright. Can be kind of crazy. I can be quiet. I can be pretty shy. But not when I become Mean Uncle Willy. I'm talking about the maker behind this film. Can be a little quiet, a little shy, a little bit reserved. Mean Uncle Willy too, he don't like people too much. Mika does though. But I just avoid him, and sometimes, you know, when I'm in a good mood, I like a little chat to keep me entertained, to keep time flying, alright? You see what I mean? I can be grumpy as fuck. But when I'm in a real good mood, no one's better mood. No one can beat me in a good mood either. Very high up and down. Nothing in between. I guess I should be a little bit more stable. We'll see. But I'm not Mean Uncle Willy for nothing. My work, my task in life is to be myself as good as I can. Alright, see you next time then. Alright. Take care. And happy Easter. I guess the Easter will be over by the release of this video, but enjoy the spring and the summer coming. Work out hard. So get ready for the beach. For sure I will. Happy Easter. It's a really nice warm day in the spring of 2019. Long Friday, April 19. And I'm in the forest. Grand soft day. Nearly 18 degrees Celsius. And I brought all that I need. At least I think so. For this long and quite complicated scene. 3 bags. Camera bag. And in this I carry the tripod, the bow, and this one. And the dummy I had to carry, and also a big log that Willy will be tied to. The log will be tied to the tree, because every time they tie his back, he move up to his feet and he boom, knock the enemies down. So the enemy will learn to not do that mistake again. The key to success is never do the same mistake again. I will show you later on how I do it. In the first scene I will tie the doll to the log, dressed up like Willy when the dog man comes to bite off the rope. And later on, when Willy have a fight with the bald guy, kick him so he fall back into the same tree, and he will bite his neck. There was some I had some blood gel that I should use for this scene. I didn't find it, but I have a lot of theater blood, so I think that the scene will move so fast so you will not really see there ain't no wound there. It's just a lot of blood. I'll show you later. I will film some clips when I'm doing these scenes. So I have to save some battery time now. I brought 2 cameras, so I have a little problem with waterproof camera, because I can't screw the tripod into the camera anymore, because it's a little broken. So I had to tie it to the tripod with black plastic tape. Alright. I also will film tomorrow the river scene, when they go after this scene, when they head down to the river. And there's a bad guy shooting at them with a machine gun, and Willy takes him out with a bow and arrow. And later on they have to climb up to waterfall. They will show they pass right by the waterfall. I have to film a little low angle so you don't see that the waterfall ain't tall at all. And when they come on the top of it, I will film at a waterfall further down the river, which is a little bit taller. But I have to film at a low angle so you don't see that it ain't that tall
like 2 meters or something. This is supposed to be at least 10 meters tall. That's why I'm going to move to a waterfall on the other side of the lake that is really tall, 10-12 meters tall. So I'll, after really throw the bastard down, I will film some clips really standing on the top, and also when he looked down, and when they move on it will be back to the other waterfall. So it's 3 waterfalls included in that scene. You also see them crawl up the steep hill there. Just film one person and I go back to dress up like the other and then keep the camera steady, so film them all in one clip. It's really there's a knife fight that is inspired by the final fight in Commando. Arnold towards that bad guy. Throw away the chicken shit gun. Use the knife. Stick it in me. Look in my eyes and see what's going on there. That's what you want, right? Something like that. It will not be exactly like that, but because he don't have a hostage. It's just alone. He's the last guy, and he's the main guy and the final boss. So that scene is important. I was planning to make real big battle scenes up the river. I have done it before in Rising Hell. So they will just have to hide from one guy shooting with a machine gun instead. Because if not, it will take too long time. It will be 3 spots by that river, and also the tall waterfall over there. People known in this area will know that it's not the same waterfall, but a lot of other people seeing it that is not known here, they may think. So at the top of the waterfall, I have to film from one side, one scene, and the other side, so we don't see that it's not the same place. Very complicated. I just can't do that fighting scene on the top of that tall waterfall. It's not so much space, and I risk falling down, you know. That will be the end of the movie and me. Ain't even worth to take that risk. I will film it when I will do some documentary when I'm filming it, and I will explain how I tackle it when I have. I just hope that finish all the river scenes tomorrow, and on Sunday then, when they arrive back at Willy's cabin, and they eat some pizza, drink some beers. Not so long scene, it's just the end of it. Almost the end, because a few days later Willy is back on work with a log on his shoulder, and he says something to the camera. I'm sure I mentioned it before. And then he walked down the acre down there with some proper music, and that will be the end of the film. I think it will be at least 45 minutes long, because it's about 33 minutes now, and this scene will at least take 5 minutes. I think the river scene, all in all, also could take nearly 5 minutes. It could be as much as 15 minutes more, I think, the film. That will be 48, maybe somewhere between 45 and 50 minutes long. 50 is okay. It's just like the length of an quite long episode in a series. This is just a single film of it. I can't make it 1.5 hours for YouTube. So episode length is better. It's quite much happening. I think time will flies for those who see it. So I just have to get moving here with filming Willy, Tom and Hans entering, and then film the bad guys. And then I have to film them all again, one by one, because I have to put on the log here. Always very important to hide the bags and the equipment and the dummy and anything. But there's no problem, you know, because when I put up the camera I will see if it's there, so I just take it away. So I have to move it around a little bit complicated. It's almost 4 already. It's not dark before after 9. I have 5 hours, but it should be the same kind of sunlight, quite the same all the time, because it shouldn't look too different from one clip to the other. Alright, I have to get started, and I will update you on my work in progress later. Och mannen nykte ved skog och hej fara förältera. Och det gick som passet till helvete. Hej fara förältera.
Oh, fucking shit. Really fine mess we find ourselves in.
I guess Uncle Willy will not be exactly in that good mood in this kind of situation. It's really hard to prepare for this scene when I do all by myself. I don't have anything to support this log for, so I have to put it to my chest and tie it up here. I had to throw the rope over this. Now I'm going to make the scene, and it's so very important, you know, for me to remember, because he will release himself. He will be released when the dog bites the rope. So I have to put the doll here. It's very important to make that scene before Willy is free, almost free, with a log on his. He will go like this and swipe down the bastard, and then the bald guy come running, so he swipe down him too. And really supposed to move very quickly. I don't know exactly how he's going to do that with this big log, because it was supposed to only be a smaller plank, but I didn't find any. So then I saw the log when I came down to Willy's cabin, so I thought I'll use that one instead. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing for a woodsman. And I always prefer to finish filming one character through the whole scene and then put it all together, but this time I have to play them several times. And there's so much to think of, you know. When all this happened, this pervert bastard, I think that he tried to rape Tom and really shout out some things, and for example Hans, that is tied to the tree over there, will he just sit there and shut up all the time? That wouldn't sound right, so I didn't write his comments into the script, so I just have to improvise that he say something too, at least something one time, because it's strange if he just sit there unless someone has knocked him out. That's also a possibility, but I don't know if Willy is knocked out. There's a gun at his head all the time, so he will just cooperate. You have to, rather the log than the bullet. Really hard log lift. This one is about 50 or 60 kilos. I will put 2 dolls here. The Willy doll when the dog bites the rope. The dog seems quite confused first who to attack. Willy had him for a long while before he escaped, or maybe Willy put him on a boat down the river, he said in a video. At least he was gone after a while, because I couldn't just have the barking noise from the doghouse or in every film. But the dog attacks the guard, rip his guts out. I can't film that because I only see that he stands over the guard with a lot of blood running out of his jaws. The dog's supposed to have a iron mouth, a lot of nails or sharp iron to eat the bad guys. But he just has a zipper, so I don't know exactly how we will be able to tear them apart like it does. But can't have everything. I should have different kind of stuff, you know. I know exactly what I want, but I have to just help myself with what I got. Sometimes some things might look a little silly though. Clock is already 6:30, so it's 3 hours to get dark. So there's a lot of complicated scenes. I also have to tie the doll, the ball guy here, but that's after the log is removed. Because Willy, with the log, still with the log on his shoulders, will knock him like that. How can you do that with a log? That's what I wonder about now. But he will knock it several times till he stands on the tree, and then he will bite his neck. And I have to put the doll here while I'm still playing Willy, and then I have to play rest of the moves of this ball guy later. Not so much later though, because the lightning here should be quite similar. Well, I can show you now some clips from the films when Willy is angry, tied to the log. I haven't even filmed it yet. I'm going to film it quite soon now. And then when I put up the doll later, I will film. That's all for now.
You fucking rapist! I'm gonna suck your eyeballs out of your nose!
Maybe I should call this film for Free Willy. It's a fitting title for another film. He doesn't exactly look like him though. Big nose, old man. So I have to... I don't know. I have to film... focus here. You see the hat? Shoulder? It's not exactly looking like my shoulder. I will show you a clip when I'm finished with it. Can't just demonstrate for the documentary. I'll rather put in some clips. So it's confusing, you know, when I come home and to edit the film, and I just needed clips for the film, and then I have so many documentary clips, but I will pick them up and put them in the documentary file first, so I will not get confused with it. It will be really hard without this dummy. So I'm really excited how it's going to be when Willy is free with the log. He's gonna move around, strike down guys with a log, and then he's gonna do like this a few times to the bald guy, because the bastard, the main guy, he escapes after he see the dog attack and rip apart the guard, the last guard, the first guard down there. He dies when Hans fires his last shot. Alright, I have to get started. It's not a joke wearing a dog mask. Really a hard task. What do you say, Uncle Willy? Soon you're free. Home free. Now I'm on the second day on this set. I didn't finish yesterday. It was 9 o'clock, so I had no chance to complete it. Just barely half of it. But now, this is the final scene. There's been a fight between this rapist bastard and Willy. And Willy hits bastard, knocks him down with a log. And he escapes because the dog man comes running towards him. He still fights with him, and he knocks him in the head a couple of times until he hit the tree. And then, still with tied to the log on his shoulders, Willy will attack like this. I want to improvise a little bit. I don't know exactly how it will turn out though. I want him to hit him with his head a couple of times. It's not that easy with the hat. This is okay, the hat fall off. It will be even easier if you do this. And then you're gonna squeeze his head. And he can't, he don't manage to kill him in that way, so he had to, I don't know. There was a rope, around the tree that tied the log to the tree, so maybe it's not so bad that it's still there. But I wish it was a little higher. Not supposed to see that I had tied the doll to the tree. I tried to hide it with my hand. If I just do this right angle. And why I have this one is that he's going to spit out part of his neck, and then I use some piece of bread mixed with the theater blood. Willy will have a lot of this blood in his mouth as he attacks, but you don't see it, before he pretend to bite, and then he spits a piece of his neck out. It's inspired by a scene in Walking Dead. Rick Grimes bite the throat of a bastard that tried to rape his son, Carl. And this is a quite similar scene though. Some maybe will recognize. Alright. I don't have too many attempts on this, because once this will spit out some. Once this is bloody, the only way is that you start the scene from here. And you cover his neck, you don't see it, it's already bloody when you're starting. I just don't want to get blood on my shirt. I can wash it off, but I plan to use the shirt tomorrow. And it looks natural though that he is bloody after a scene like that. But I don't know if it will go entirely away. Maybe in time. It's not like paint or blueberry lemonade. Even that is harder to remove from the clothes. And the theater blood is totally harmless. You can even swallow some, and I don't know what it's made of. It's not so synthetic. It's not a good idea to swallow too much though, but at least you can have it in your mouth without no health risk. Okay, I show you this clip now because I haven't made it already, but I show you a few clips from the film during this documentary. Alright, let's go on with the show. Of course that I forgot that Willy had a log on his shoulder still while he attacked, so I had to do it 3 times. But it was quite good in the end though. It's not easy all this, you know. Putting a piece of bread and a lot of theater blood in my mouth while attacking the doll with a log on my shoulders and spit it out. I have to perfect the clip, not too far, not too long, because you will see that it's a doll. Yeah. You will realize it anyway though, with this mask, this latest mask, they look quite real though. So now it's the final scene. It's not the last part of the scene, but it's the last part I'm going to film. And that is a bloody one too, because as I mentioned before, I will dress up like the rapist bastard, and when he takes his hand here, blood is supposed to be streaming out of his fingers. And when he removes his hand, he will reveal a wound. At least a lot of blood. Maybe the edge of the mask will stick out. Looks like his neck is totally ripped apart, which it actually is. Just pretend. I'm supposed to have a small plastic bag in my fingers with a few holes in it. And, I don't know exactly how the scene would be. But even if he just take his hand there to the wound and fall down, it's okay. I have to see him fall and see him on the ground. I don't know if he's like shaking in death cramps or maybe, or just a dead motherfucker. Alright. Played all with Willy. I had to film the guard again. The one with the afro hair. Because after the dog has ripped him apart, he has this mask, of course. But the problem is that the mask has no beard. But I have. So I had to film it again with the mask, no beard. The only way to hide my beard while I have it is to use the masks. Alright, start to wonder how long this documentary will be. Longer than the film, I suppose. Twice as long maybe. I will tomorrow film the river scene in 3 parts. I explained well before. It will rain tomorrow, but that's okay. If it's just a half the temperature as now. Colder, 7 degrees. Maybe I wait till Monday. We'll see. Maybe it's okay to take a break. That scene is filmed down the river, 3 different places down the river. It's okay. It's most of it is filmed there, and there's some sequence at the taller waterfall will be filmed. That is few clips, but it's quite challenging to film it, because I have to put the camera at the bottom of the waterfall and climb up so we can see him staring down. And also maybe one clip when he's at the top looking down. And the third part is filming the guy shooting at them with a M42 Browning or what, something like that. The one that Rambo used to slaughter the enemies in the over-the-top violent scene at the end of Rambo 4. I will film that there, so I have to put together the replica machine gun, and the enemy got an arrow in his throat or something. That is the 3 parts at the end of the journey, and then they will just arrive at home, come up from the river, I guess. Sitting there, bloody, wet and bruised, and catching his breath. And then you will see a couple of hours later they have washed up and changed clothes and they sit in the garden with a few beers and Jack Daniels. I don't have any beers, so it will be only Jack Daniels. Maybe some moonshine, though. You can only use water. I bought a pizza for that scene, so they sit there talking, and then Tom comes out with the pizza. And that clip will be short, because then I play whatever Tom's saying and eat a little pizza, and I can continue removing my plate to the edge of the table, playing Willy, for example, and Hans. I have to film all the characters eating pizza while it's still warm. It's a bit challenging too, but it's nothing like this. What I'm doing now is a lot harder. And the end then, I don't know exactly if Willy will talk to the camera, because it's not that kind of film. So I think that it just I could write a few days later maybe, but it's nothing happening except that he will walk down there the acre with a log at the end with some music, and then I will write I'll be seeing you, to be continued. This exact story will not continue, although it's always a red thread from film to film. I don't know exactly. Maybe I can write the end. This is the end of this film. Maybe that's okay to just mark it's the end of this film. Of course, maybe I can write Willy will be back shortly. Haha, that's better. Alright. I will film, I will show you how I make it down the river and by the tall waterfall. And some final words at the garden party. I'm gonna drink some Jack Daniels. It's not really Jack Daniels, it's just some dark iced tea. I wouldn't mind if it was real Jack Daniels, but that will be later, sometime in May. I'm gonna have myself a quite well-deserved party. I was thinking in having a few beers today too, but I don't think I will make it. The stores closed earlier today, so even if it was 6, I will only have 15 minutes. So I will stay sober and edit this and maybe go for a run. And later on in May I will I gotta get fucking drunk. I deserve it after this. And I will make shorter films with Willy. Willy kicking smelly ass. One important is where he tells about his lost brother, Endless Sorrow. That one I have to film this summer. That is the most important. And also this Left 4 Dead. It's similar to this film, where he is hurt and lost in the wilderness and trying to survive. It's a little different from this stuff. But even though it will be cool to film it in winter, it will look cool, but it will be too hard to make. So I have to be summer and relative warmer, because I will film outside even more than this. And there also a film I will want to call Human Garbage. That will be maybe Bastard from the pub will return, because maybe he will not die at the end of the waterfall. I think he will return. I don't want to kill off such a great character. And also a film Beyond Rage. That might be a film where Will is talking into the camera, telling about his life, with a special focus on all situations making him angry. So that's a few plots. I try to make at least 2 or 3 of them. And later on I will move to Sweden, so But I hope still be able to make Willy films. Maybe when I'm back here at vacation, or maybe even in Sweden. At least talking Willy is easier to make. Alright, that's enough for now. It's still a beautiful warm day, cooler tomorrow. Into the next week it will be warmer again. And river scene, all the parts of it, I don't know even if I can make it tomorrow, or if I will, because it's cold and rainy. And Monday, the homecoming, so maybe I will film all the way till Tuesday 23rd, and then edit the day after, Wednesday. So probably the film will come Wednesday 24th of April. But this film has been published already when you see this, because I'm going to put together this documentary and release it right after The Woodsman. Alright, bye for now. I'll be seeing you.
The fucking bastard from the pub has fallen into the river, down the tall waterfall. But you don't know for sure is he alive or not. And I'm here, live and vibrant. Oh my God. I play bastard from the pub now. At the final fight scene, the final boss. It's so late that I barely got time to make documentary, and it's wet and slippery and really hard. I was planned to make it further down the river, and there was also another scene before he met the bastard that he was supposed to go through, but I have to go straight to the most important scene, because sooner or later the bastard would appear. At least he should. It's not enough that he just run away from the fucking dog. I don't know how to make it, you know. I fall down there now. It's very slippery, so I fall down. Thank God, knife. Thank God, knife. Thank God that I dropped the knife, because I could get it right in my belly, you know. This is dangerous, especially on a wet, rainy day like this. Here it's slippery, you know. All the things growing on the stones here. I don't know what to call it in English. The vegetation. It's very slippery, so I fall and slide down the hill there. Thank God I just dropped the knife. I don't like this shit, you know. I don't like making a scene like that, but I think the film needs a final boss, a final fight by the two main guys, because the two main guys is Willy is the main guy, of course, and then you have the bastard from the pub. This is the main enemy for 2 years now, ever since Rising Hell, when he met him at the pub. And that's why he called him the bastard from the pub. So I have to improvise a little bit. It's a little bit strange though. Willy stands here and talking in a medium volume voice, and he stands almost 10 meters away with this noise from the waterfall there. Think I can have that kind of conversation in that noise, in that distance, 10 meters or almost. But you don't see how far it is, so you just see that Willy say, "Come on, bastard, let's party." And then he walk, and then in the next, you will see the forest. That you will see that he have walked 4 meters or something more. So that conversation would not make any sense. They wouldn't really hear each other. But I have to work with what I have, you know. It's kind of much water now, even though it's been dry for 3 weeks. It has been raining. It's not much rain today, but it's raining all the time, a little bit. And I have to put it together. And I was thinking that bastard should do like this. And then out of the picture, because I can't jump down there, you know.
And first idea was that Willy was going to knock him out in the waterfall like that. And also the next idea was kick him. But it's so slippery, you know. You can't do this that way. So instead, you see Willy standing on the edge there, and I have to be very careful to not show that there is a pool down there, that it's not tall. I think I made it. It's very hard because the camera, it's really hard to attach it to the tripod because there's something wrong, you know, with the screw. So I had to place it on the tripod with some black plastic tape. I have to work with what I have. And then Willy says, be careful now, so you don't fall down the waterfall. And oh, I'm not that clumsy. I'm just gonna kill you or something, he said, the bastard. And then he ran towards Willy. In the next clip you see that Willy runs aside. I think they stay in the same spot. That wouldn't really be possible, but you don't really see it on film. Because where Willy going and move aside, he will just run into the river, run over the rocks there. I can show you. You stand on the edge there, and then you run towards the rocks. And the bastard, you see him from this side, that he ran towards Willy and really moved. And then you just hear, ah! To pretend that there's some tall waterfall there. So you have to clip it right. You see that he say what he say, and then he run, and short clip really move. And then you don't see the bastard in the camera anymore. But you just hear him. When you don't see the waterfall. I could have filmed the edge though, but this is the way it's going to be.
Come on! Watch out for the waterfall if you value your life.
I'm not going to fall. I'm not that clumsy. I'm gonna fucking kill ya! It's almost too dark to film now. This is the river where I was filming. I plan to film, I'll really film here too. Willy kicking smelly ass. There's some bad guys hanging around by the truck over there, and they talk bad about Willy, and he hear it, or someone tells him, and he's nearby, and there will be a fight. A smaller film. Plan that film for this place. I really need a film team. It's not that easy not to do everything by myself. Now, this bag, huge bag. This one, I got this as a gift when I was in a security class. I was taking a course to be a security guard, and I worked as a security guard a few places for some months. Wasn't really for me, but nothing is for me except being my own boss and doing my own thing, making films, and I always like being creative and drawing before. I went 3 years for an art class. I wasn't really inspiring to go that way, so I took a lot of other kinds of work. I didn't do any further education along that line. I just took the jobs that was available for a long time. But then I got in a more convenient situation. And I don't, I will not tell too much about that, but how do I make my living if I have pension, or maybe I have. But I don't really live by making films, but that's my goal. I don't want to rely on something else. I want to be stinking rich, you know. That's not the most important. Money is not the most important thing in life, though. Far from it. But you're really lucky if you can live by your hobby, your passion, what you really love to do. And when you do what you really love to do, you will really feel alive. You also feel alive by stepping out of your comfort zone and doing new things, taking some chances. And I take far too many chances in these film projects, so I have to calm down a little and be more careful, because there are some people that loves me. I have family too, you know. You don't know, but I tell you now, I have family. Philippines that will come to me soon, next year. My wife will visit me probably this summer. That will be nice. We'll make films together, and different kinds of films. Not that character-driven stories like this with a lot of action and in different kind of places out in the wilderness and by slippery stones at the waterfall. And it's crazy project, crazy adventure. And it's still April, as Willy said. Still April and kind of cold. It's been quite hot now and colder today, but tomorrow at the top it will be 19 degrees, and that is the summer temperature. It's happened many times. It's a lot warmer in the end of April. And as the song said by Aha, the soft rain of April is over. It just came now. It's not even allowed to make a bonfire or to burn away rotten grass to clean up this spring, because it's quite high risk for fire. But they're a little bit less now because of the rain that came. So it's going to be warm and sunny. It's a really wonderful month, and that's why I was able to make this film. It's not that easy when it's raining or blowing, especially blowing. When it's warm and raining, that's okay to film. It's just that the manuscript's papers will be wet, so I have to. But I have it in a plastic map, but it's not that easy to read through it with a lot of raindrops over it. So it will be warm and nice, so I will just continue making smaller films from mountain trips and stuff like that. And if there are character play, they will be at home or nearby, easier. Maybe just a character talking into the camera, maybe some other characters that I put together. That ain't too hard. So it will be smaller films, but I have plans for bigger films too, and that will be mostly Mean Uncle Willy films. This Left 4 Dead film, where he survived with survival in the wilderness. That will be projects like that, but not that much bad guys. It will be just some friends that abandon him, but it's not them that shoot him and he fall down a cliff. I don't even know if I will make that film, but I want to, sooner or later. I don't know, maybe not this year. There's a easier film to play Endless Sorrow. It's more difficult in another way. You have to be a writer, a good writer to write the script for it, but it's not challenging in the way of action scenes in the difficult locations. More emotional hard, because you may get to see grumpy old Uncle Willy cry. At least show a softer side. talking about sorrow in general and the loss of his brother, who died 20 years ago in a car crash. And he carried him up from the river when the life was running out of him, and no one wanted to help, no one could help. Just when a car finally stopped, it was an old lady, and then it was too late. He was dead. He has died, and you could only drive him to the morgue. That story was developing over time, and he said something about it in Mean Uncle Willy's Christmas that I released January last year. And also he mentioned it when he was almost crying, drunk. I was drunk for real, sitting in by his cabin, by the table in the garden there, and I got many views, over 100 views. It's quite many, and one thumbs down, of course. Maybe they don't like see Willy's softer side. I don't know. Some people, you know, just press thumbs down because maybe they feel empowered that way. I don't know. There was one day I came home and then there was 4 thumbs down on each video. One thumb down on each video. All the last videos that I uploaded, it was very different, you know. There was a Viking film that was kind of gross, but it was also a nature film that is so much more harmless. But someone just decided to put the thumbs down on everything, all the last videos that I made. It's really irritating, but I shouldn't mind of that. There's some people that just don't have a life that do this. I feel kind of powerful when they mess up, because they don't look that good, you know, with a thumb down. The Rambo film, there was 7 dislikes and 10 likes, but now it's 30 likes and still only 7. So when people see that it's 30 likes, like 80% thumbs up, they hesitate a little bit more to put the thumb down, even if they see the film. With so many likes, it had to be good. So I felt that I get real justice by getting so much likes. It's not like I have to be a little humble to. I'm really grateful, thankful for it. It's not something you can take for granted, getting that much likes. And it's nearly 11,000 views. That's crazy much for one film, and it's over 20% of the views that I have in all for 413 films. Some films was very easy to make though. Especially the mountain trips that I have about 120 films of. Just take some pictures and add music and some comments, and then you have the film. But they have to be done though. But the hard part of that video is climbing the mountains. It's too dark now, so I have to go, and this video will sure reach 2 hours, but that's okay. I think that I will only talk 1 or 2 times more in the garden scene at the end of the film. And maybe some words after, when I finish the project. Okay, I have to get home before it gets way too dark here and edit the film. And, tomorrow I will go for the waterfall and play the garden scene, and do some editing on Tuesday, and probably on Wednesday I will upload it. Bye for now.
Welcome to the party in my lovely garden. I am enjoying my beer. There's no one else here. Tom went to sleep. Hans is sleeping over there. And it's useless, like a dead fucking dog. Like always. I still have a lot to drink. Not much left of my Jack Daniels. Actually, it's just apple juice. Just for the appearance, just for show. And I still have some moonshine. Really strong one. As strong as water can get. Cheers. Just water. But this ain't any apple juice. No, 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 it ain't. I gonna drink it up. Fill it up, better cut. Alright. See my knife? Just like a iconic picture. Putting the knife on the table like that. Like I did in the Rising Hill. Huh? I drink 3 of this. I drink some water. And this, which is no alcohol in it at all. And then it doesn't matter. Just for show. Just pretense. 3 of this. Alright, I'm not going to act like being Mean Uncle Willy anymore, because this tape is for a documentary, the making of Willy the Woodsman. So I've been talking to you through this whole process, making this film, so I think this is the last part. I think all that I've filmed so far is 1 hour and 40 minutes. I started 3 minutes ago, so shouldn't be. I should stop by 9:22. It's 9:05 now. So I have to choose my words wisely, because I want this video to be 2 hours. It's okay. I would prefer if it was even shorter, you know, but when I'm on the film set, then I'm very enthusiastic talking about the scenes that I'm about to make, or that I had just filmed. So, and I talk not about only that, I talk about my life in general too. I just filmed the last scene now. It was improvised a little bit though. I followed the manuscript. This is the manuscript in plastic, so I can also use it in rainy days. That's why I use the waterproof camera. With the other camera, the Panasonic zoom camera, I have problems with it. The problem was that the files has the same titles. For example, the title is 001 MTS or 0018 MTS, and then I delete all the files, all the video files, after I have transferred it to the computer. The problem is then when I start to film again, it starts from 1, and the titles will be 0001 and 0010 MTS. It's the same. The problem with that is that the editor program that I'm using, which is Premiere Pro, mistakes one file for another, and sometimes it changes the whole video, audio and video. And but most of the times it just changes the sound. You see the video, you see them talking, you just hear something else. You can hear something shouting, you can hear myself talking to myself while I practicing for what I'm going to say or whatever. And I had a real problem. I spent all night fixing this, and thank God when I open it this day, it is perfectly alright again.
The film is 45 minutes long so far. I think the scene will be here. The garden scene will be 4 or 5 minutes, and I will complete the video with one song, which is 2 minutes and 13 seconds. It's 2 minutes and 18 seconds, but the last 5 seconds you don't really hear. So it's called Pontiac Shuffle. It's really good. I used it earlier in Rising Hell. At the end of the last part 3 in Rising Hell, I made a retro Mean Uncle Willy. Not only from the Rising Hell, but from all the videos. I will show clips. And I will show some clips too these days. Alright, let's party. Alright. Talking Uncle Willy, huh? I will show him. I could turn the camera. It's getting pretty dark now. Walking down with this log down the acre. I think that scene lasts for 40 seconds maybe. Or 45, 50 seconds, something like that. Not more than a minute. So the next minute, or a little bit more than that, have to be spent on showing the character, probably in the appearing order. And first you will see Willy. I made it this way that I show what happened the next day. Sneak peek into what happened later in the film, in the middle of the film, when Willy is locked up in the prison cell, and the fucking bastard from the pub comes with some porridge and tell him that that is his nephew's brain matter. Oh my God. And he gets so mad, you know. Then that clip is less than a minute. First you see the intro with some music, 40 seconds I think, 30-40 seconds. And that is really carrying a log someplace in the forest. And you will see that clips later also in the film, after he leave his cabin in the woods or cabin in the valley to go to the woods, because he's going to, they're broke, you know. You know, if you've seen the movie by now, they are really broke. They're really starving. Willy is trying to get Slim Willy, and he do some morning fast, but it's a little bit too much fasting because it's against their will. At least, you know, they should be able to eat when they want to. Now they don't really have any money left, so he have to go to the forest, property with some forest that he bought for. He bought it, and he cut some logs, and he sell it to some people building cabins in the woods or some shit, I don't know. He sell it at least, and it's supposed to go to the market, you know. He cut down 40 logs. I did good today, he said. Cut down at least 40 logs, but he had to carry one by one because he don't have a fucking car. Shitty problem, alright? And then he meet Charlton down by the river. There are 2 other guys there, which is much worse. 2 rapist bastards, you know. And Charlton tried to run away, and the bull guy ran after him. And then I made some sound effects that he screamed and then some moaning sounds from that crazy son of a bitch. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit over the top. Maybe I will get dislikes because of that, I don't know. But of course, this story that I made, it's not supportive to any guys like that, characters like that. They are really bad guys. So that's, I think that maybe is a good plot for making Willy really angry. Because what is Mean Uncle Willy if he's not angry? It's okay that he's mean. But first of all, he's angry and grumpy. But he can also be in a fantastic good mood. Up and down, just like Conan the Barbarian, you know. They tell in the chronicles that there's no one with such a dark, bad, grumpy mood, and no one can be more happy and joyful as he can be. Probably when he found a treasure, some gold, and he have a girl on his legs, or one on the other, and the drink in his glass. Cheers, buddy. All right. I plan to also make a talking Willy. Just sit there like I do now. I lost my hat earlier. I have it here. Well, he did like this. And yeah, really amusing, huh? Am I amusing you? Do I look like a clown to you? And a talking Willy that is not the making of the... This is the making of the Willy the Woodsman. I will call it the making of Mean Uncle Willy, Willy the Woodsman, and in apostrophe documentary. That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. It's cold now, really cold. It was really hot day. Really hot to be that early in the spring. It's still April. It is April 23. And sometimes in late April it can be really hot. Sometimes just cold all the way. But this has just been a really good month when it comes to the weather. It's been barely raining. A few days ago it was only one day with rain, and that was Sunday, when I was filming down the river, when I fall and hit myself. Really dangerous scene. So even now, even if I get drunk now, wasted, the hangover tomorrow probably, it's safer than filming down the river in a slippery place. I could fall, you know, and get my wife, not my wife, but my knife. My wife would be even better. My knife in the belly, and that would be end of me. There's no waterfall there though. Just pretend, you know, that bastard running towards Willy, and Willy move away, and he fall down the waterfall. I think it made it quite good with sounds, you know. I just run past the camera towards the river, and I made like sound like ah. What I did then, I just put the audio file into a file with a waterfall that I filmed a few years ago. So I didn't go to the tall waterfall on the other side of the lake, because it will be even better, you know, to see Uncle Willy at the top of the waterfall. What if I slip? How could I release the movie and even a documentary? It would be end of me. It would be just files on the computer that no one would see. Maybe except my family, if they would be curious of what I made, but probably no one would ever see. I just can't do something like that. to make it just a little bit better. The devil is in the details. I know. Supposed to. I care very much about the details in this film. You know, even if you're at this filming at the same location, like here, you turn the camera a little bit, you hear the waterfall louder than if you turn the camera this way, for example. And then I have to make a transparent link, a link between, so you slowly, the louder sound slowly turn into the lower sound, and the other way around. Smoothly transition, alright? I put links like that, maybe a little bit too much, but too much is better than too little, I guess. It's better than nothing, at least. So I hope you enjoyed the film, because probably you have seen it by now. You know, there's some people just watching The Talking Dead, and they don't see The Walking Dead, just The Talking Dead. Most people see The Walking Dead, and but some people, I heard, they only see Talking Dead. I don't think there's many people interested in watching a 2-hour documentary about the film that I haven't seen. Or if they see this one first, there's a lot of spoilers, so maybe there's a good idea to just put it on hold and see the movie, and then see me talking about how I made it, day by day and step by step. It's really been challenging and interesting and even developing process, and adventure in real time. It's a lot of pretense. You pretend that something going on, and that's just an imaginary story. And you realize that by the end of the movie, when Willy said that I hope that you have enjoyed this movie and I enjoyed making it for you, and then you start to realize this was all a fictionary story, and that's what it is. And Willy said that this didn't really happen lately, but of course it happened earlier in my life. I just have to remake it for you to watch it now. And sometimes he said, no, it's just for show, it's just for entertainment only. It never happened. I killed no one, I didn't hurt a fly. Alright, cheers. Cheers, mate. I will do some talking really soon now. It's getting too dark, you know. Today is a really hot day. I told you already. I didn't mention the temperature though. It was 21.5 in the shadow, and my cell phone said 22. Maybe some places it was 22 in the shadow. It's only measure the shadow. In the sun, earlier today it was 30 or maybe 28. But the thermostat get heated by the sun, so it might show a higher temperature than it really is. But of course, it used to be a 10-12 degrees higher temperature in the sun. In the shadow, it counts. Yeah. Oh my God, what you say, teddy bear? I promised Bamsa, my teddy bear, to go on a trip. How do you like it? Because so many times I said, oh, tomorrow, or maybe next day, we go on a trip together, but then I'm running very fast and very far. It's not a good experience for him just lying in my pocket. Today, sits here, even if it's a little bit cold, he won't feel it. He don't eat, he don't drink, he don't talk. Such a nice friend, just the way I like it. I wish that the temperature would maintain a little bit more. It will be still a little hotter. I can't complain though, because it's light till 10. Or 10 is quite dark. Maybe it's 10 already. No, not really. It is 9:24. It's kind of late. So, but I brought some flashlight that I can attach to my head, or maybe someplace there just to be here. And my mother is coming home from Sweden today, so she will be wondering, maybe worried, if I'm not there. I told her I will be down in the valley filming the last scene of the movie. So, but if I'm not back after dark, she will wonder, what the fuck am I doing? How can I film in the dark? You must be drinking then. Of course I do. I told you that I was going to have a party, celebrate this film. I think that I kind of earned it. And I was a little bit unsure though. I had some doubts if I should do it, you know, because it's been 6.5 months. 6 days and 6 months and 20 days exactly. It's what I used to, you know. I drink summer, a little bit into the autumn, and then I stop. No drinks for Christmas, and no in winter, no in the early spring, but in late April or beginning of May I take a party when it's hot and nice, and I have a bench on the other side of the lake where I just sit. I remember last year I made a documentary about the hillbillies. That was a Mean Uncle Willy film too. If you remember it, if you've seen it, it's quite good too. And it was on that occasion that I made a film when I had a few beers. I was filming here, you know, Mean Uncle Willy's moonshine style, and I just had to stop because it was hot. It was 23 degrees, May 9. Almost hot as today, but it was just a little bit hotter, 1 or 1.5 degrees hotter. But it was blowing, you know, the wind was blowing even though it was hot, so I had to stop. All my manuscript papers just blowing away in the wind, and you seen it, that was like kind of a bloopers. All right. You talk too much. My wife said, you talk too much. I know. I'm only human. At least I'm in touch with humanity. I show human signs. At least I have to count for something better than nothing, alright? Cheers, mate. I think I will stop it right now. I can't sit there so much longer either. Because I'm not mean fucking Uncle Willy for nothing. It's kind of creative and innovative to make a character like Mean Uncle Willy. I don't even remember where I took the inspiration from. Different kind of places. There was a scene in Freddy's Nightmare with Alice Cooper wiping the whip. At least he showed up. Or maybe someone else wiping the whip. That scene is a small inspiration. And also, if you see The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. The first time I appeared with the previous wig that I used for Mean Uncle Willy in the most films. The first time I appeared with that wig was when I portrayed a parody of Daryl Dixon in episode 6 of Man vs. Crazy Chinaman, the ultimate adventure. And if Mean Uncle Willy is not directly inspiration from Daryl Dixon, he's inspired by the copy. No, I mean the parody that I made. So they are quite similar, and they talked about it too in episode 8 or 9. The man, you know, asked why you sound and look like Mean Uncle Willy, and my Daryl parody replied, I'm similar to Mean Uncle Willy because I am Mean Uncle Willy. I am him. Don't you recognize me? Alright. Gotta get some fun out of life, alright? Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. It's your life's like that, you know. You get born, you live and you die, and then what? And then what? You join the afterlife, and then you look at yourself in the rearview mirror and regret what you did, and you regret what you didn't do. I saw that the time run out now. It's 27 minutes, so that means that this documentary is over 2 hours probably, because I also will put in some clips from the film later when I edit. It hasn't happened yet, you know. I haven't put any video into this film yet. I will do it later. First, now, before it gets too dark, I will do some talking Willy. And then I will release that one first as a commercial, like a sneak peek or a temptation for people to see the film Willy the Woodsman. And then I will release Willy the Woodsman. And then I will release this documentary. I also was planning to make a Kjartan film, because Kjartan was in this film, you know. He was really raped. I don't know what Kjartan would say to that. Maybe he will just say it was just pretense. I'm intact, I'm fine, nothing bad happened, nothing changed, I'm same Kjartan as I used to be, alright? Yeah, I think that's enough for now. It's not that easy to be totally serious, disciplined and dedicated like I've been every day, even days when I didn't feel that good and lacked sleep and barely had time to make a scene. But I always put some time into making this documentary, because documentary might be just as interesting and entertaining and exciting as the film, maybe. It's interesting maybe for some people to know where I get the ideas for this film and previous films and other projects that I will make. I talk about films that I made and future projects, but mostly about this film, because this is a big project, you know. I spent 13 days now making it, and now it's finished. So tomorrow, if I'm in the shape, I will edit it and save it and publish it. Maybe Thursday, because I don't know how long I will sleep tomorrow. So but first the Talking Willy which is a commercial sneak peek temptation video for I think that probably those who watch the Talking Willy will at least see the film, because Willy just sit there on his ass drinking, talking, ain't that interesting as the film. So if they see that one, they will at least see the movie, and maybe also the documentary, even if it's long. And sure, it will be 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. I'm going to really make it good, you know, put in the clips where I told you that I will show you some scenes, and maybe even when I don't tell you, just when I talk about scenes, how I made it, you know, you will see the scene in between the talking in this documentary. So I hope you'll enjoy this film, and the main film, Mean Uncle Willy The Woodsman, and I hope that you will put a like on the film and also the documentary if you like it. Leave a comment if you want to say something, or if you ask a question. I will 100% for sure answer you shortly. I am really dedicated to my viewers or fans, if I have some. I think so, maybe some, because I have 121 subscribers by now, and I think it's not totally over-exaggerated calling them fans. If you subscribe to the channel, you must like at least some of the content. And thanks guys for watching this documentary, and thanks you very much for watching my last Mean Uncle Willy. I am excited, you know, what you think about the new Mean Uncle Willy's look. Same kind of shirt and pants, but the hat is new and the hair is new, because I lost my wig September 1st last year, but I don't regret it anymore. I don't have a problem with it, because this looks better. It has the same color as my beard, and I think this is even a better looking Willy than before. So it's just getting better and better day by day, alright? That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Guys, I love you. Really. I want the best for you. I want you to enjoy every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every year, every moment of your life. And I do this to inform you, to entertain you. The satisfaction that I get from this is like maybe 25%, but mostly for you. It's like give and take, but it's mostly giving. Because I don't earn a penny, you know. I don't earn anything on this. I do it just for fun, and it's my passion. And my task in life, or my call, is to entertain you. I'm an entertainer. But I care so much about my viewers, my subscribers, that you are pleased, that you are satisfied, and feel entertained and happy about what you see. I want to make your day a little bit better. So I think that's enough for now. I think I will open this beer. This one I will put aside because it has no alcohol. And it's getting really cold and dark now, so I have to hurry up and do the talking Willy. It's almost a little bit too late, but I tried to do a short one. I could do it some other day, but I want to finish editing. It's just putting in this scene that I filmed today, and look through it a couple of times, and then save it and publish it on YouTube. And that's all. And yeah, what more? Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I think I said more than enough. I think I have to do the talking Willy now and turn up the brightness a little bit, maybe just 10 minutes or something. So I wish that it was light a little longer, a little bit warmer in the evening. You know, it can be almost minus in the night and 20 plus in the daytime. So what else can I say? I want to have myself a real treat. Cheers, buddy. I'll be seeing you in the next film. I love you guys, I really do. From my heart to yours. See you later, guys. Cheers, mate. Bye for now.